Hi there, and welcome back to another Whoosh video breakdown. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Blue Toad and Diddy Kong action figures from the Jakks Pacific World of Nintendo line. This is their 4-inch scaled action figure line, so if you have previously released figures like Mario and Yoshi, these guys are going to fit in with those just fine, and this is the second assortment of that series, so we're already off to a pretty good start as far as world building goes. I wanted to take a minute in this video to take a look at these guys' articulation. We'll have the full review up at thewhoosh.com, so you can see lots of pictures and the written review there. But to start off, I have to say that of both of these figures, I have to call Diddy Kong my favorite. He definitely has the most articulation of the two. He's got, as you can see, some partial ball shoulders. He's got hinged elbows as well as twist wrist. He's got some ankle cuts that kind of follow a V, or I'm sorry, some hip cuts that kind of follow a V cut like a lot of action figures. So I didn't realize it until I actually opened the figure that it's more than the V cut right there. So you can see that it does come out to a little bit of a partial ball, so you can actually get his legs into a few different poses thanks to that, and it's not just the straightforward and backward. He also has hinged knees as well as twist ankles, which you get pretty good movement out of right there. And then finally, he's got just a twist neck. I thought maybe this would be a ball. It feels like it was maybe meant to be, but you don't really get a lot of the forward and backward movement with it, but you definitely get the side to side. And of course, his tail is also a twist, so you can have it to use to hang him upside down, but it's also good because if you want to get him into some more complicated poses, as he's known to get into in the games, you can kind of use his tail as a bit of a support back there, so that works out well for him. But he actually follows a pretty good tradition with this line so far, especially with the simian figures like the previously released deluxe Donkey Kong figure, in that he does have a lot of good articulations. So he scales really well to Donkey Kong, and I have to say that even though Diddy Kong has never been one of my favorite Nintendo characters, this figure turned out really, really nicely. He of course has the patented Nintendo hat, so he's going to probably be a pretty popular figure within this assortment. So I feel like I was lucky to find him pretty early on at Target. So if you're on the lookout for these guys, make sure you pick this guy up because I think he's going to end up surprising a lot of people with his quality. Moving on to Toad, or I should say the Blue Toad. This is not probably the Toad that we have come to know over the years, the one with the red dots on the hat and the blue vest. I kind of refer to him as the primary Toad, or the character of Toad, who happens to be my favorite Nintendo character actually. But this is the Blue Toad that has come to popularity ever since the release of the new Super Mario Brothers game on the Wii. He's actually a playable character, and he's also a playable character on the new Wii U game. So the good part about this Toad is that, as you know, there are blue Toads, there are yellow Toads, there's the red Toad, there's green Toads. So this figure is actually going to lend himself well to several repaint options as the line goes on. So hopefully we'll get a chance at all of those figures. But Toad, he's a pretty basic figure, as you can see. His character design doesn't really lend itself well to having a lot of articulation. Even then, this guy's a little bit limited. I thought maybe he'd have some foot movement, but he doesn't, or some a cut at the abdomen, but he doesn't really have any articulation there. What he does have is partial ball shoulders, so you can get some movement back and forth with his arms, so you can place them up or down or out to the side, or however you want that this joint will allow. Toad's not known for being the most animated in terms of his movements, so it doesn't really hinder him from a character standpoint, but you also get kind of a nice neck cut there, and of course that can go 360 degrees with his massive hat, or I don't know, is that the top of his head? So he's pretty limited in the 3 points of articulation, but it would have been nice to get a few more cuts at his feet and at his waist, but it doesn't really hinder the character that badly. So he's actually really nicely scaled within the line. As you can see, Mario's probably his closest associate that we've gotten so far, and he looks really good next to Mario. And if you stand them side to side as you would, or I'm sorry, front to back as you would in a side-scrolling game, you can see that Jakks has really done a good job of capturing the scale within the line so far. So I really hope that that is something that continues on as we get more characters in the line. But Diddy Kong and Toad, like I said, are in wave 2 of the 4-inch scale line. They're shipping alongside Luigi and Samus from Metroid. I did not find those guys yet, but you can better believe as soon as we do, we're going to have a video of them up here on the Fwoosh YouTube channel as well. So be on the lookout for these guys. They're hitting target right now. Check out thefwoosh.com for the full written review with lots and lots of pictures. Give us a comment below, give us a like and subscribe, and return soon for another Fwoosh video breakdown. We'll be back with some more later on this week. But in the meantime, keep on Fwooshing.